They tied our hands and our legs. They had already collected all our properties. Everything was gone. I took a bus, the worst mistake of my life. I never knew that that bus was the beginning of problems. There were about 3 people in the bus, excluding the conductor. 2 of them were male. They were sitting behind at the last row, the chair in the last back seat. That's where they were sitting. Then the woman was sitting somewhere in the middle. So me and 2 other people boarded that particular bus. Immediately we boarded that bus, the conductor closed the door. I didn't really think twice. I was like, okay, when we get to Chuba, Chuba was the last bus stop. They're going to just say Chuba, we don't reach, that kind of thing. And I was going to come down. The next thing that happened to me was I saw one of the men behind. They took like a white handkerchief and they went over my nose. Before I could struggle, I passed out. When I gained consciousness, it was in the middle of the bush, forest, thick one. You see where they used to act evil forest in Nollywood? That was where I woke up in. I was surprised. Me and the other 2 people that entered from that junction, we were seated on the floor with other people. There were like 5 people in total that were there, including me. That's 6. They tied our hands and our legs. They had already collected all our properties. Everything was gone. Someone who looked like their boss came in and they were shouting, Oga Polo, good evening, Oga Polo, good evening. It was getting dark. It was in the evening. I entered this bus sometime like around 1 thereabouts. It was already getting dark. So the time was looking like maybe 6 o'clock thereabouts. They were calling him Oga Polo, Oga Polo, Oga Polo, good evening. Oga Polo now told them, Una don't give them information and call their people. They said no. The man was not like, wait till they wait for. Come on, go carry phone, give them and call their people. Jesus Christ, I was already in tears. I was crying. I was shaking. We had not just been kidnapped. Apparently, if you don't pay your ransom in 24 hours, they would harvest your organs. Like, I could see people who were coming in, although they were like blindfolded, they were coming in rich, like from their dressing, you know that these are wealthy people in the society. They were coming in. You could hear, you know, when you go to the slaughterhouse and you are hearing how they are cutting goats, you could hear that sound. Toga Polo said, give them phone and call people. Give them phone and call their people. They now gave us phone. Everybody puts number. Me, I was even confused. Shana, my papa, I want call. Hi, baby, go kill him. I busy my mother. Who do I call? They said we should tell them 8 million. If they don't bring 8 million between now and the next evening, people will start dying, literally. Guys, I was, because me safe, I know say I could die. 8 million. Who do I want to call that will bring 8 million on top of my head? That's how they started passing the phone from one victim to another, from one person to another. If you finish talking to your people, they will snap you. If you finish talking to your people, they will snap you. They gave me my phone and the first person I called was my elder sister, because if there's anybody that will bring out that money, it will be her. I called my elder sister. I was crying. My elder sister thought it was one of those my jokes, because to be honest, my family people don't even take me seriously. They were like, it was one of those jokes until they started hearing people at the background and they sent pictures. My family started looking for money immediately to raise for me. They kept passing the phone. That night came. We sat there. I've never slept sitting down. Nobody slept. We were just crying. The worst is that you cannot even talk to the next person, because when you're looking at the next person, that one too is crying, thinking of how they are going to kill him. And I was on my period that fateful day. I was on my period. I had already urinated on myself about 3 times. From the moment I gained consciousness to the time that the Oga Polo was saying we should call people, I had urinated on myself about 3 times. And you know how messy it can be. Blood mixed with urine. Deadly. And remember I told you that we met about 2 people there when we got there. So one had been there for about 2 days. Their family could not raise the money. Guys, they took this person in and that was the end. You could literally hear him shouting, I beg. Before you know, boom, they had cut off it. I'm going to save all the gory details because thinking about this alone is moving me to tears. So guys, they actually unalived him. They unalived him, and that was when it dawned on us that we are not joking here. Like, this is not shere. This is the real. This is life and death. You understand? It's either that money comes out or you die, because it's either they are getting the money or they are selling your, parts for equal that amount. The next morning, they did another call round. Like, call your people and tell them, oh, if you don't want to end up like that guy, call, oh. By that time, I was already smelling. I was, even me, myself, I almost died from my own smell. So they brought out the phone. They brought out the phone. They gave everybody, oh yeah, start calling. No, people started calling. Where's the money now? Where's the money now? Where is the money now? Me too. When it got to my turn, I told my sister, where's the money? She was like, oh, they've gotten about 6 million. I now told her that I just watched them on a live somebody here. Oh. She was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Later that afternoon, they let one of the girls that entered the bus with me at the same junction go. So I knew that her money had and they've completed their payment. I don't know how they arranged the payment. I do not know. I was still urinating on myself. At this point, I was so messy. Oga Polo started asking, who be that girl with the smell? Who be that girl with the smell? Na me. Na me then they talk about. So Oga Polo started asking who was smelling that bad, because females, you people will understand how bad it is to be on your period. You've not changed your pad. You've been urinating on yourself. The blood has been flowing non-stop. It was it was crazy. And to be honest, I feel like all of us there were smelling at that point. But mine was a discovery. Mine was a mystery, because it was bad. It was bad. I don't know if that was part of the miracle, because I don't usually flow very heavy, but that period, I don't know if it was the anxiety or whatever. I was just like, I was counting we all know that we are going to die, but we don't know when it will happen. But for you to see your death literally in front of you. So, as I was saying, they now took me to Okapolo. Okapolo was like, don't you take care of yourself? You are smelling. You are this. Why are you smelling like this? How many days where you don't day and now why they smell like dead body? I was like, I was on my period. And I told him that, sir, sorry that I was on my period. And the worst part is that these people did not even have the decency to say, okay, if you want to urinate or stand up or let's take you somewhere. No, everything you were doing it on that ground, that grass, you were doing it. Gapo was like, how am I going to, I don't want to, I'm not the carry person where they period they come here. No, the carry person when they period they come here. See how this person they smell like that body. I have never been so happy to be insulted. Like, on a normal day, somebody says you're smelling, you pick an offense. But that thing, what he was saying to me at that point was sounding like sweet melodies in my stomach. I was so happy. It was not like that. They should take me away from here. You should take me away from here. One of the workers, they was like, Coca Polo, they never send her money. Oh. It was like, if I come back here, I see this idiot for here. The idiot was me. Proudly, I'm an idiot. Call me in the face of death. Call me anything you want to call me. I'll gladly take it. It was like, if he sees me here by the time he's back, like they would hear from me. That was how that was how these people say, oh yeah. Can they go? They went to look for my bag. They gave me my bag. They blindfolded me. They now started taking me out there. Like I was just walking. We walked for about 20 minutes non-stop on blindfold. While we were going, one of the workers was just like, they lucky, oh, whichever God way they serve, may you go there. Where they praise them, because you say that money no drop this evening, we for use you cook pepper soup. That word, I can never forget it. When a fellow human being tells you that they would have used you to cook pepper soup, and they literally meant it. They meant it, every word. So, after like walking for about 20 minutes, he was like, I should stop. So I stopped. He told me I should start walking. That he will watch me. That if I turn my back, that they were literally going to shoot me down. So I removed the blindfold. I started running. I was running. You know that when it comes to a life and death situation, you will not know how strong you are. You will not know how the speed you have. I never knew that I could run more than Usain Bolt. I ran for my dear life. I ran and ran and ran and ran and ran. till I got to the junction. I got to the junction. I started crying. I started crying. People gathered. What happened? I said, kidnappers. Kidnappers. They say, where? I was just pointing. Oh, where are you pointing to? It's a whole bush. And I don't even know where they took me from, where they entered. Like, I said, kidnappers. I said, kidnappers. I called my friend. At that point, they were like, wait, wherever you are, we are coming. Can you find your way home? I said, no. Me and public transport, never. Come and pick me. That's why I did junction. Oh. I sat down, I cried and cried and cried. I was smelling. Flies were surrounding me. You know how bees surround sugar. That's how I was just saying zzz around me. But this is somebody that just survived a near death situation. So I didn't mind. I didn't mind. So I got home eventually. I was shaking. I couldn't talk. I couldn't eat. I couldn't say anything. This lasted for about 3 days. I couldn't talk. The only thing that they did was to call my family, told them that I was okay, and that was it. I didn't talk for a long time. I eventually went for therapy for about 6 months. Um, I had like PTSD from the whole situation, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm finally getting to share this story now with you guys. So yeah, that's how God saved my life because I was on my period. If I wasn't on my period, I don't know if my people would have been able to raise that 8 million. I don't know if they would have eventually used me for pepper soup like that guy threatened. So guys, I count myself lucky to have survived that incident.